Welcome back to Division III National Championship action from Salem, Virginia. Let's go to the third member of our broadcast team, Dave Ryan. He's with Larry Karras.
And Gary, does Coach Karras know a thing or two about winning Division III championships? Or what, 7-1 in D3 title games? The only loss came back in 03 at St. John's, Minnesota. How does that past success, Larry, help your approach today?
Well, I think being here, we know the schedule for the 2 or 3 days that we're here, and we try to keep everything in perspective for the players.
You're facing Division III's top running back in Justin Bieber from Whitewater. How do you go about stopping him?
Well, we know we can't really stop him. We've got to try and limit the big runs, you know, the 10-plus runs, and try to make some key plays on third down.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.
Mount Union Coach Karras, Gary, go for an 8th national title today.
And I tell you, Bill, you told me I'd be impressed with him, and I was in the meeting last night. As University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, they have won the toss. They have deferred. That means that Mount Union will receive Larry Karras. We talked about all the statistics and all the things that he's done. Bill, you told me that in constructing some material that you wrote about how to build a team, a program, and you used Larry Karras as your reference.
I asked Larry Karras to write about building a divisional program, meaning any Division II and down, because certainly he has established the best program in terms of winning. And when you study his academic record and you study his record of working with his young people, you find that he's not just a winning football coach, but he teaches young people how to be winners in the classroom, winners in their personal lives. He's done some incredible things, I think, in terms of being the right kind of counselor for his men.
Well, his counterpart for Whitewater is Bob Berezowitz, 61 years old in his 21st year, the Conference Coach of the Year for the 5th time, the first time in this national championship game. Told us this was a huge goal for him to get here. He was quite a quarterback for Whitewater. He played in an NAIA championship game.
Yeah, and he's led his team this year to a 14-0 record, and that's almost impossible to get through a whole season and to take on the two top teams, New Hampshire and Linfield, in their home fields, and to win both of those to get here. They will be formidable. Bob has a terrific football team. They know exactly what they're doing.
Well, so we will have University of Wisconsin-Whitewater kicking off to Mount Union. Mike Chalk will be kicking off for the Warhawks. The Warhawks, who are located in south central Wisconsin. They're about 50 miles away from the state capital of Madison. And Chalk this year has been a very effective kicker for this team. Nate Kamick will go back, the true freshman, the outstanding running back. He's joined there by Aaron Robinson, number 2. There's Kamick. He's out of Delta, Ohio. And this guy came on after Robinson got hurt, and he has been sensational in the playoffs.
15 touchdowns this year, Gary.
And so Chalk is ready to go as they kick it up. And Division III championship game is underway. And it's going to be returned by Kamick. Kamick up to the 20, to the 25, to the corner, to the 30, 35, 40. And a very good return for Mount Union. That's a 24-yard return. And so coming out to run this offense is going to be Mike Joris, as we have a player down at the 35-yard line. Joris threw for a school record 3,490 yards, has a great arm. He's gotten better each week since becoming a full-time starter in game 2. So we're going to have a delay right now as we have a Warhawk down at the 35-yard line. The ball will be marked at the 41. It's going to be Brett Lindsay, who is a backup safety, shaken up on the first play of this game. Bill, how about the weather here? Beautiful, balmy day. And check that. That may be the kicker. And it is Chalk who is hurt. So Mike Chalk is the guy down at the 35-yard line. But, Bill, this is remarkable weather. We had a little tough time getting in here earlier with the ice storm, but it is nice now.
Yes, indeed. As the camera pans back and you're able to see around the field, you see the snow and ice stacked up. It was very much in evidence 2 days ago. We couldn't get in here, so we were required to come a day late. And Gary, you had a really fun time being stuck in an airport, and but we did manage to get here, and the weather's near perfect today.
That looks like the North Pole, doesn't it? With the snow in the background.
Felt like it.
41 degrees though, very little wind, and the forecast is favorable for the rest of the day. So Chalk is now walking off the field. Let's see if we can figure out what's happened here, Bill, as we started the game out with Chalk getting injured.
Well, we certainly don't want to see anybody get hurt, but up at the top of the screen, you can see there's an inadvertent kick to the head. Looks like it, and he's probably just dinged, and I feel confident he'll be okay.
So Mount Union will start from the 41, and here comes Kamick. Kamick, the 190-pound true freshman, able to pound it for a couple of yards on the play. This Mount Union team averaged over 500 yards in offense. As you look at Kamick, and eBay is their big, powerful fullback, Casto, along with Garcon and Campbell. Garcon is a real triple threat. He does everything well. Manning, Blanchard, Safran, and Goodwill. Jason Lewis was the offensive lineman of the year in the conference. He's going to bring up now a second down as they come out now with 4 wide receivers, trips formation, top of the field. Kamick with the ball, and he's not going to get much. He may have got the yard, and that's all. As coming over that time to make the tackle, Rizowitz. As you look now at Kosterman, Rizowitz along with Kleppe and Thompson. Thompson, a shot put champion and also their strongest player. Kleppe, on the other hand, leads them in sacks. Rabel, Wyduck, and Price. Price recovering from a severe auto accident. Whipperforth, Murray, Brown, and Kyle Johnson. That's the secondary for this Warhawk team. Third down now. Here is Joris back to throw, and the completion is made to Casto. Casto made the catch at the 47-yard line. What a year this guy has had. He had 77 catches coming into this game. First down for Mount Union. Got to mark the ball at the 47-yard line now. So Joris, who completed 67% of his passes this year, comes out and connects on his first attempt of the day. From the 47 now, the Purple Raiders will set it up. 3 wideouts, and we're going to have the play blown dead. So Mount Union had the good kickoff return. They've got an initial first down. They're at the Wisconsin Whitewater end of the field.
Gary, when we have quarterbacks that throw with this kind of accuracy, listen,
ball start,
the call.
Number 72, offense, 5-yard penalty, we played the down.
This is the Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Association officials that are in charge of this game. So they're going to move the ball back into Mount Union's end of the field at the 48.
I had a chance to visit with the officials down on the field during the warm-ups. Very impressed with their enthusiasm, their sincerity, and happiness about doing this kind of game.
So it's going to be 1st and 15 now for Mount Union. Joris from the gun. Over the middle. It's Garcon. And Garcon trying to get wide after making the catch, a slam down. He didn't get much on the play. Pierre Garcon, who this year averaged almost 18 yards a catch, comes up with this one, picks up about a yard and bring up 3rd down. Make that 2nd down and 14 yards to go. Chalk, you can see, trying to shake off the effects of that opening kickoff. And staying loose.
Yeah, there's something great about those bikes. You keep them on there long enough, they tend to get well. They don't like riding that thing.
I was going to say, get on the field, right? 2nd down now, 14. Joris being flushed out, trying to run up the field. He's going to be dropped with the line of scrimmage. Good reaction that time. Eric Kosterman was the first there, the junior out of Racine Park, Wisconsin. Let's go down to Dave Ryan.
Yeah, just talked to the Warhawk trainers about the kicker, Mike Chalk. You can see him now on the Xer bike getting loose. He was kicked in the lower back during the opening kickoff of this game. Pretty severe contusion to the lower back. Trainers say he should be able to return a kick effectively, but he's in a lot of pain, grimacing from Chalk. We'll see how affected he is by that later on, Gary.
Okay, Rhino, it's now 3rd down and 14. No gain on that last play. They'll come out with 4 wideouts. Joris will now go from the gun as Mount Union trying to keep this drive alive. Michael Joris back to throw, going deep up the field. It's going to be intercepted. That's a 29th interception of the year for University of Wisconsin. Whitewater, and that's Whipperforth who came up with it, his 5th interception of the season. So that ball was not well thrown that time by Joris. A 38-yard return by Whipperforth, a senior out of Poignant, Wisconsin, and all of a sudden the Warhawks with great field position.
Gary, you can see right here that they're having a tough time protecting Ryan Kleppe, number 95, got good pressure 2 plays in a row. Coming up against Tom Manning, the left tackle, number 51, having a tough time and forced the underthrow from the quarterback. This is the things you don't often see. A good pass rush is the best defense against the pass, and he caused the underthrow and the early error by Joris.
Can you believe that? 29 interceptions this year for the Warhawks, 21 of them in playoff competition. Handoff now to Justin Beaver, the leading rusher in Division III, and he takes it to the 36. This is Justin Jacobs. He shattered all of Whitewater's passing records this season en route to being named the MVP of the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. And a lot of people, a lot of the coaches were telling us, Bill, that he's a year ahead of where they thought he would be.
Well, this whole football team's a year ahead. Both these teams, their coaches thought would sort of be late bloomers and maybe do better next year. And here they are in the championship game.
Second down now. Make it 5 yards to go. A pickup of 5. 3 wideouts. Justin Beaver is the single running back. Sprinting out now is going to be Jacobs. Throws it. He completes it to Derek Stanley. Stanley makes the move, and he's to the 20-yard line. First down for Whitewater. 17-yard pickup on the play. Oh, we just mentioned Stanley. He's been outstanding, as Rosinski has as well. And Rulin was a high school teammate of Beavers. They're best of friends, and those two guys started in the backfield. And up front, Zachalarias is an all-conference player, as is Ramser. Allen is not real big, but tough in the middle. Loreno is the only senior up front, and Schmidt at right tackle. First down now, just short of the 20-yard line. 2 wideouts. Handoff. Comes off now to Beaver. Beaver trying to get wide. He'll get to the 15 and slam down there. Let's take a look now at this Mount Union defense, allowing only 9 points a game. They love their forward wall. Stickley, Wells, Wolf, and Brower. Wells is a 2-gapper up there. Wolf is a big 6'5" defensive tackle. Gibbons set a school record in tackles this year. Reese is just a sophomore. They love his potential. And Watson this year is an All-American. American Football Coaches Association All-American. He picked off 9. McDavid, Costelli, along with Barron and Rose, complete the secondary. Second down, 5 yards to go. Jacobs, quick pitch. He completes it at the 10. Making a move with Stanley. He dives to the 2-yard line. And it'll be first and goal, a 13-yard pickup on the play. Jesse Wells there to make the stop. And so the Warhawks are moving the ball efficiently.
They're moving the ball extremely efficiently. Derek Stanley, who averaged 27 yards a catch. You can see his elusiveness here as he goes by the All-American corner, Watson, and nearly takes it in the end zone. Gary, he came up to the official. I was standing right there, and he said, "Is it okay if I wear my socks like this?" The guy was so shocked at the respect level of this level of player. He was just thrilled and said, "You wear them any way you want to, son."
First and goal now at the 2-yard line. It's going to be Beaver with the football trying to get in. Beaver's in, standing up. And after the interception, Justin Beaver with his 24th rushing touchdown. I mean, the guy is just having numbers pile up that are just incredible to see, and that's one of them, 24 rushing touchdowns.
Well, I'll tell you his number that impresses me the most, and yes, all his numbers are impressive, but in a game that they had to have, and a team that had their number prior to this year against the University of Wisconsin lacrosse, Justin carried the ball 49 times. 49. I can't imagine that.
They talk about him being the heart and soul of this team. Mike Chalk looks like he's recovered enough to attempt the point after, and he does. And so Whitewater, after the interception, able to capitalize on it. Stone, who's an explosive player. They were talking last night, he always wants the football. Well, he got the football there, and he produced a 63-yard touchdown as Joris, and I think you were right earlier, Coach, looked a little tight, maybe a little nervous, so that'll probably loosen him up with that long strike. Mike Zimmerman now will be kicking off for Mount Union as Derek Stanley and Andy Lang will go back for the Warhawks. 7-7 with 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
We talked about Derek Stanley and his sincerity in speaking with the official about his socks. He's got them both pulled up now. He had them pushed down at the time. I think some of his coaches told him to do that.
Here's Zimmerman kicking off. It's going to be returned by Lang, the backup running back. Lang is able to get to the 25. Check that. It's Stanley. And Stanley is able to get to the 25-yard line. Let's go back to that touchdown, the 63-yarder, Coach.
Pierre Garçon runs right through double coverage here. He should have been covered easily by Whipperforth and Derek Brown. He runs right through the coverage. Very few people can run through double coverage because you got one guy that's responsible for the deep area, one for the underneath. He just has too much speed. Beautiful throw and catch. And as you say, Gary, that's got to calm Mr. Joris down just a little.
I would think so, as now Justin Jacobs needs to settle down himself. His team has scored once after the interception. His running back is Beaver. Jacobs comes out throwing. He's able to complete it to the 35-yard line. It'll be a first down. Jim Leshinsky over there to make the stop. And let's go down to Dave Ryan.
All right, Gary, thanks a lot. Talked with Larry Karras, the head coach of Mount Union, before the game, and his approach is very low-key. He didn't see a lot of emotion during warm-ups on the field for Mount Union as Purple Raiders, and that really was the case early in this game when the Warhawks took that 7-0 lead. But thanks to the Garcon touchdown, things have changed here, guys, on the Purple Raiders sideline. A lot more motion, a lot more energy. Maybe that's what it takes, a big play by their big player, Garcon.
Well, I tell you, the Warhawks are not intimidated by this dominating football program, Mount Union. They talked about the fact this is just a great opportunity for them. Handoff now to Beaver. Beaver fighting forward, a lot of congestion, maybe to the 39. Matt Kostelnik was over there to make the stop. Kostelnik is the guy who is a sophomore and a strong safety, 5th in tackles this year for Mount Union.
Like so many programs and so many systems on defense these days, strong safety type athletes are linebackers, Gary. They're up near the line of scrimmage. It's not what we used to think of as safeties, because that's what you have to be able to do so that you can spread out and cover the pass routes as well.
2nd down and 7 now for the Warhawks. Beaver remains in as a running back, 3 wideouts, and Jacobs comes back throwing again. This time it's Stanley, and Stanley has another first down, and so they're going to their underneath game right now. Passing game has produced a couple of first downs. Russ Watson over there to make the stop for Mount Union. They'll mark it at the 48-yard line, and so getting their footing underneath them now offensively appears to be the University of Wisconsin Whitewater, as Jacobs throwing a couple of nice slants to pick up those first downs. They'll come out this time with 2 receivers split to the near side. 7-7 our score, approaching 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Handoff to Beaver. Beaver trying to go wide, and he gets yardage down the sideline. All of a sudden, a burst across the 40. He's all the way down to the 36-yard line, a 16-yard pickup. It looked like he was running out of real estate, and somehow he cut it up the field and made a remarkable run.
Well, I'll tell you how he somehow cut it up. His buddy Travis Rulin from high school drills Cameron Rose and gives him the sideline, gives him the corner, and down the sideline he reminds me of one of my favorite buddies that I played with at Georgia Tech. Billy Williamson was our captain. He ran the football like that every single time. He played about 52 minutes a game. This kid reminds me of the great Billy Williamson.
You see the numbers on Beaver. He needs 91 yards today to become the all-time leading rusher in Division III play, and this pass complete. Jacobs able to connect with his fullback. That's Travis Rulin, the junior out of Eagle, Wisconsin, and his forward progress to the 31, Cameron Rose, there to make the stop. And they are now doing a nice job of really distributing the ball, moving the football to bring up a 2nd down and 5.
Well, you just don't get the kinds of numbers that these two offenses have generated without having a diversified attack and what Larry Karras calls making the defense defend the whole field. Both these offenses are capable of that.
Both of them have averaged so many yards. We mentioned Mount Union over 500. This team close to 500 yards a game. There's a pass broken up. He was trying to connect to Derek Stanley to the near side, and the ball was knocked down, and that's Justin Stickley. Stickley this year, now with his 9th pass broken up this year, a senior out of Massillon. He really gets his hands up.
We asked his coaches, how does he do that? Is this something you practice? And they said, he just seems to be pretty good at it. And I think that's the case in so many things like blocking kicks and what have you. You got people with a knack.
3rd down now. Make it a long 4, almost 5. Jacobs takes the snap, gives to Beaver. Beaver trying to cut outside. He's not going to get it. He's fighting for it, but he's going to be short considerably, about 4 yards of a first down. Greg Brower was there. Mac Rees was over there, the inside linebacker, and it's going to bring up a 4th down now for Whitewater.
Mistake by Beaver. He shows his inexperience. He's just a sophomore. He tried to run sideways. He thought he was going to go outside. Then he decided he'd come back inside. Meanwhile, the pursuit's catching up. Matt Rees, number 26. Greg Brower tracked him down, forced the 4th down. Now they're going for it.
They are going to go for it. They look like they might try a field goal, be about a 48-yarder. Instead, they'll go for it on 4th down, and still 4 yards to go. Beaver in the backfield. Jacobs in the gun, rolling out to the near side. A blitz coming, throws, and broken up. very good coverage that time by Matt Kostelnik, the sophomore safety who got a hand on the ball, broke it up, and they'll have to take over now. Mount Union, they'll have the ball with good field position at the 31.
Kostelnik showing his versatility. You'll see him come across here and break this thing up. Number 9 right there. Quarterback also paying the price as this defense is all over the football field. Greg Brower, number 84, making one play after another. First on the run, and then on the pass.
Talking to Larry Karras, he loves his defensive forward wall. You saw Brower do a great job there, the senior out of Lakewood, Ohio. The guy who lines up usually on the tight end side defensively. First down now, just across the 30-yard line, and the handoff comes to Kmiec. Kmiec shut down at the 32. And so it'll bring up a second down. Alex Thompson, one of the defensive guys there to make the stop along with Colin Price. And it's going to bring up second down, 8 yards to go.
Alex Thompson is the captain, strongest man on the football team, and really fought off the block there. Form type football.
Second down now, second down, 8 yards to go. 3 wideouts on this play, 2 running backs. Ebel along with Kmiec in the backfield. Hand pitch complete to Kmiec, and Kmiec across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Well, last week against Rowan, Mount Union's dominating run defense held Rowan to -1 rushing yards on the afternoon. Here's Brower, we're just talking about, with a stop for a loss. Then running back Kmiec caught a 36-yard touchdown pass from Mike Joris, and then Kmiec ran one in from 7 yards out. Mount Union went on to win that ball game 19-7. Third down and 3 now for the Purple Raiders. 2 minutes left to go in this first quarter of play. Here is Joris now scrambling around. He's in trouble, and he's going to lose yardage. Inside the 30, back to the 28. He's really upset. Clutby was there, Kosterman was there, and it's going to bring up a punting situation, 4th down.
Ryan Kleppe, number 95, lined up at the left defensive tackle, what we call a 3 technique, does a nice spin move. He's been a problem all day long. They've lined him up at the right defensive end, the left defensive tackle. So far, he's whipped everybody they've lined up across from him.
This year, Whitewater had 38 sacks to go with those interceptions we were talking about earlier.
Kleppe had 5.5 of them.
Mervicka is back now to receive this punt. The punt underway, and Mervicka coming up on the fly. He's got it at the 45, and he's going to be dropped there. Good coverage that time. Hey, today College Hoops continues on ESPN and ESPN2. First at 4 Eastern on ESPN, Hassan Adams and the Arizona Wildcats will face Bryant Markson and the Utah Utes. Then at 8 on ESPN2, Terrence Dials and the 25th ranked Ohio State Buckeyes take on Curtis Stinson and the Iowa State Cyclones. College basketball is on ESPN and also ESPN2 today. So the line of scrimmage, the 1-yard line, that was not a very good punt that time. A punt of 27 yards. Here's a handoff now to Beaver. Beaver straight ahead, and he pounds across the 50 to the 48-yard line. A gain of 7, almost 8 yards on the play.
Gary, Beaver's one of those guys that we think of as a little guy. If you look at him right now, he's not a very big guy, but he's 195 pounds. He's utterly fearless. He just whips it up in there, and if you don't meet him at the line of scrimmage, he's going to drag you even if you're bigger than he is. That's a good example. You see him from behind there. Looks like he's about 14 years old, but he runs like a man.
He's a sophomore. He grew up about 8 miles from the University of Wisconsin Whitewater campus. Here he goes again, straight ahead, and that's another first down. So they go right back to the power game up the middle. Beaver coming in here, averaging 176.5 yards a game. Leading rusher in Division III. A guy who 3 times this year has gone over 200 yards.
Now watch, one of the reasons for it is Rulin, number 9, leading the play off to the left there, just keeps his feet moving, drops his guy on his back, a pancake block. Doesn't help him up either. Don't help him up.
First down to 42, you can
like
see.
those linebackers.
The Warhawks getting the better in the rushing yardage. A lot of that is Beavers going to work. Here's hand around fake by Jacobson. He just gets rid of the ball. He tried to hit his tight end, Pete Schmidt. but just no chance as Greg Brower really put some pressure on that time.
Greg Brower played good responsibility football. A guy like Brower, you would think of him, Brower, I should say, is running all over the field making plays, but that time he played responsibility. It was a naked bootleg, nobody to block him, right in the quarterback's face, and actually took the play away from him.
It'll bring up a 2nd and 10. We have 13 seconds left to go in this first quarter. We're tied at 7. This is the Division III National Championship game from Salem, Virginia. Mount Union against Wisconsin Whitewater. Going to come out this time with 3 wideouts. From the gun will be Jacobs. Justin Jacobs looking up the field and broken up. That's a couple of times now. He's tried to throw the ball, only have it batted right down in front of him. It'll bring up a 3rd down.
Buddy Wolf's a big old guy. He's 6'5", and again, getting down on the field in the warm-ups, I was surprised at the lineman's size, Gary. There are a lot of big guys here. I didn't expect that. I thought these guys would all be 6-footers. Buddy Wolf is 6'5", knows how to get that hand up. He got some penetration and makes it tough for the quarterback.
The coaches are telling us that he's the strongest guy on the football team. He leads his team in sacks with 8.5. Tall, lean guy who can rush the passer. 3rd down now, 10 yards for Whitewater. Jacobs straight back to throw. Pressure coming. Gets rid of it. Throws it up the field. No chance on this one. He was really belted that time. Pressure from Matt Kostelik, the safety. And with 4 seconds left in the quarter, it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Matt Kostelik, one of those hybrid players who looks like a safety, plays like a linebacker. He can play in the tackle box. He can blitz. He can also get out and cover. That's what you're seeing in both college football at every level and also in the NFL these days.
And so going back to punt will be University of Wisconsin Whitewater, and doing the honors is Nick Croak, a sophomore, and he'll punt away to Casto, who is back there, as he'll punt inside the 45, snap a little bit low, and Castro's going to let it hit. It's not a good punt, goes sideways, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. They'll mark it at the 23, and so they are fighting for this, the trophy for the Division III championship. Deadlocked at 7. It's going to be a 1st down and 10 for Mount Union as we start this quarter. Back to throw is going to be Joris. He completes it to Kamick, and Kamick will be stopped immediately at the 25-yard line, a gain of 2. A.J. Rabel, a sophomore out of Cary, Illinois, over there to make the stop. So the game started out a little shaky for this Mount Union team. They threw the interception that was then eventually taken in for a touchdown, but then they struck in a hurry with Garcon on a 63-yard touchdown catch, and that's where we stand right now. At the 26-yard line, 2nd and 7 now for the Purple Raiders. Joris back, far sideline, and nobody there. Looks like Garcon fell down at the 35-yard line. Today's game track is brought to you by Coca-Cola, and here is the interception with blazing speed, and we're at 7 now as Larry Karras' team apparently recovering a little bit after that shaky start to the game. 3rd down, 7, as back to throw will be Joris. Joris up the middle, and he completes it. That'll be a 1st down catch. That's Scott Campbell, the tight end, who had only 5 catches previous to today. That's an 11-yard pickup on the play. They'll mark the ball across the 35 to the 36-yard line. So Mount Union now really starting to settle in.
And they really like Scott Campbell as a blocker. They bring in Antonucci, the backup tight end, who's more of a receiver. He's got 20 catches, and he sort of flexes, and he runs most of the tight end routes when they're true passing game.
They have Campbell in motion. Pitch comes in near side. Kamick gets a corner, almost anyways. He's grounded to the 39. Kleppe is over there to make the tackle. We'll be mentioning his name a lot. The junior out of Mount Orab, Wisconsin. They talk about he has such a great motor. Smart, hard to block, and he was a first-team all-conference pick. And so that will bring up now 2nd down, 9 yards to go.
And the more I watch these run defenses, the more I'm reminded that, respectively, they gave up 2.2 yards per carry, and I'm talking about Whitewater, and 2.8 yards per carry, Mount Union. So 2 tough run defenses.
And so back to throw goes Joris. He's got time. Dumps it And caught by Comic. Comic spins and gets to the 45. He'll be a couple of yards short of the first down. And let's go back down to Rhino on the sideline.
All right, Gary, game officials here in Virginia doing the best they possibly can to keep this field in good playing shape, but it is breaking up a little bit. We've got some divots that are happening, especially in the middle of the field. Now, this field has been covered the last 2 days after that severe ice storm that dumped a bunch of snow and ice on our area. That was on Thursday. Still, as the game progresses, guys, I think the footing's going to get worse and worse, especially while it's the sidelines. The boundary on each side, tough footing for each team.
I tell you, Rhino, you ought to go out there and help them out a little bit. Go out there and do a little stopping, replacing some of those divots. You know, help out our cause here. I don't think he heard me, do you?
No, I think he's ignoring you.
Third down now.
I would
2 yards to go. Play action fake now by George going deep up the field. It's Casco. Casco double teamed incomplete at the 15-yard line. Scott Casco defended by Andy Murray and Whipperford. I mean, that was very well covered that time by Whitewater, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, with all due respect to Scott Casco, he doesn't look the same running. This is the same coverage. He's double coverage, and it's just laid up by Joris, and Whipperforth and Murray have no problem staying with him. They have big problems when it's the other guy, Garcon, number 1, running down between them.
And so, punting away will be Mount Union. Murvicka is back now to receive the punt. And McKaylee, the freshman of Upper Sandusky, Ohio, will punt away for Mount Union. He hit this one very well. Fair catch called for and made. Murvicka, the sophomore out of Greendale, Wisconsin. 36-yard punt. Whitewater has the ball. We're tied at 7. And Coach, anything surprised you thus far in the ball game?
Yeah, I'm very surprised. Both defenses are playing better than I thought they could against these explosive offenses. Guys like Wydock and Kostelnik are really dominating the game, along with some other guys. Brower making a lot of plays on defense. It's tough to move the ball. I'm impressed with the defenses.
And here they come now. Wisconsin Whitewater able to move the ball out to the 20-yard line. That is Justin Beaver carrying the ball. Kostelnik, who we've been mentioning a lot over there, to get a hand on that tackle. So the Warhawks, who come in here unbeaten, 14-0. They were 10-0 in the regular season, 7-0 in conference play. And in the playoffs, for the first time in 7 years, as we mentioned at the start of this broadcast, the first time they've been in the national championship game. Gain of a yard, it'll be 2nd down and 9 yards to go. Lesowitz, a head coach who's been around a long time and done a outstanding job. Quick pass, complete to Stanley. Stanley makes a move, lunges forward, gets to the 27-yard line. Ross Watson on the tackle. Founded in 1868 as Whitewater Normal School for Teachers. UW-Whitewater is located in south central Wisconsin. The university has 48 buildings, including state-of-the-art academic and athletic facilities. Wisconsin-Whitewater has an enrollment of 10,500. with 45 undergraduate programs and 16 postgraduate programs. The stadium is named after Coach Forrest Perkins, who preceded Bob as the head coach at Whitewater. Third down coming up, 2 yards to go now. Movement up front, and we're going to have a penalty flag. Looks like Buddy Wolf, the defensive tackle, may have jumped on the play. So Wolf, the senior out of Brunswick, Ohio. Let's see if that's who it was.
Very clean game so far. We'll see what it's called.
Dead ball, offsides, defense, under 94, first down.
And that is Buddy Wolf, and it is, as mentioned, a first down by penalty.
Good football players take gambles occasionally on defense. Alan Page, the great defensive lineman for the Vikings, used to just jump that count just a little because he was smart enough to listen to the quarterbacks and learn to, I think, maybe Buddy Wolf was trying to take a page out of Page's book.
Handoff now to Beaver. Beaver trying to go wide, and he gets to the 35. One of the things they're concerned about, Bill, on Justin Beaver, he's such a good cutback runner. They were going to be very conscious of that in their lanes as they go to the sideline. Beaver that time just kept motoring around the end. Mike Gibbons, who this year had 144 tackles, which is a school record, was there to make the stop. This guy is just all over the field. And they were telling us, Bill, he only weighs 175 pounds.
Yeah, well, he hits like a 220-pounder, and that's what you do when you're a great linebacker and you're undersized.
They list him at 195, but the coaches just laughed when we asked him what his actual size is, and they said 175. Here's Jacobs throwing up the field, nobody there. So that will bring up a third down as there was just nothing developing on that play. We'll have 6 yards to go for the first down. Jacobs this year completed 52% of his passes, 33 touchdowns. Set school records in yards, touchdowns, attempts, and completions. I mean, there's not much less left that you could not set a record in.
Well, I think you like these Whitewater guys because they remember you. You're a Wisconsin icon. I thought I was with a rock star when their coaches walked. Gary Bender, wow.
No, what they said was I was about 2 years old when I watched you on television, so that didn't help. Levick's now come in as a wide receiver. Here's Jacobs throwing, and he completes it, and that is Pete Schmidt, the tight end, who they use a lot. He had 40 catches at the start of the day, and we have a player shaken up. Getting up slowly for Mount Union. That's enough for the first down. It sets it up to the 44-yard line. Buddy Wolf is a player who is shaken up. He's going to go off the field on his own power.
Buddy's a tough guy. Here's 59, Brent Allen, the small center, having a tough time with Jesse Wells, number 97, who outweighs him about 60 pounds. Playing nose guard. Now we get a chance to see the route. And a nice throw, good placement for the first down by Schmidt. Schmidt, by the way, has good speed as well as having the ability to get open.
Yeah, they use him in a lot of deep patterns from that tight end spot. Here is Beaver trying to get wide, and a lot of white shirts converge on him, and they'll drop him at the 47. So welcome to Salem, Virginia on a very pleasant day here as we are at the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl, the site of the Division III National Championship game, as Larry Karras going for his 8th title in 13 years. Bob Berizowitz making his first appearance with UW Whitewater after coming in here unbeaten today. It'll bring up a second down, 6 yards to go. We're tied at 7. Beaver remains in the backfield. Ruland, the fullback, is in a wing position near side. Handoff to Beaver. Beaver trying to move the pile. Gets to the midfield stripe. He'll be dropped there. Kostelnik again on another tackle.
Number 32.
Number 9. We've called him all day long for this Mount Union team.
We've got Kostelnik down for 4 tackles. One reason he's able to do that, watch those white shirts across the front. Wells,
3 yards on the play.
Wolf, Brower, Stickley, no movement whatsoever. Great job by the defensive line. No wonder Karras is so high on it. That frees Kostelnik and others like Gibbons to make plays.
From the 50-yard line now. It'll be a third down, 3 yards to go. Jacobs double pumping, in trouble now, and he breaks the tackle, stays on his feet, still on his feet, and he's going to be swarmed down, and it'll bring up the 4th down. Brower and Stickley, both defensive ends, swarming on that play, and he had no chance.
Well, he was swarming on the play. They were all swarming, but he eluded Brower the first time. Brower ended up on the ground. Stickley, his buddy, covered for him, number 5 over here. Watch this. Brower doesn't come down with him because he does a nice job of eluding. But what does Brower do? He does what good football players always do. He gets up off the ground, chases down the fleet quarterback, and gets him on the ground.
Nick Croak will punt away now, as going back as Casto. He'll be joined by Brandon Fame as the left-footed boot is underway, and drop. Castro dropped it, but there's a penalty flag. The ball was deflected. One of his teammates came up with the 30-yard line, and let's see what the penalty flag is all about.
That's technically called a muff.
Yes.
Not a fumble because he never had possession. So Darrell Ely plucked it out of the air. They may call interference because you have to allow the returner a fair chance to catch the ball. Let's see here.
Catch interference on the kicking team. That will be a 50-yard penalty. First down, Mount Union.
Heads-up play by Darrell Ely, a true freshman. This ball got away. It was muffed, as Bill mentioned. His teammate coming up with it.
People should be treated fairly. That's why eLoan has fought for the strictest privacy laws in the industry. Check out our current monthly mortgage options. Those are some of the revolutionary ways we're changing the lending industry. eLoan, radically.
The Division III National Championship continues as Mount Union has Nate Kamick advancing the ball to the 48-yard line. Kamick stopped there. It'll bring up now a second down and a long 3 to go. We're tied at 7 with Bill Curry And Dave Ryan, I'm Gary Bender. Glad to have you with us here in Salem, Virginia, nearby Roanoke, Virginia, as this is the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl for the championship. An NCAA champ will be crowned today. And by the way, the NCAA president is here today. Back to throw now is going to be Joyce. He completes it. Kamick makes the catch, and Kamick scoots across the 35 to the 33-yard line. A gain of 18 on the play. He really got Kamick involved. You know what's interesting about that, Bill? He caught his first career touchdown last week, so they're starting to involve him more.
He only had 9 catches coming into the game, but you can see him slip through the line of scrimmage. He's in man-to-man coverage, or being covered man-to-man by a linebacker who simply cannot stay with him.
First down now after that pickup, moves it inside the 35 now. Wisconsin Whitewater. Kamick again skips forward. Nice foot movement, quick feet across the 30 to the 28-yard line. Well, founded in 1846, Mount Union is one of the nation's first co-educational colleges, located in Alliance, Ohio, which is 70 miles from Cleveland. Mount Union is a liberal arts college associated with the United States Methodist Church. Mount Union's total enrollment, 2,200, which 70% of the students live on campus. And Mount Union offers 45 majors and 5 postgraduate programs. Second down now, 3 yards to go for the guys we just mentioned. Mount Union. Hand off again to Kamick, trying to go wide. He's got the first down, and he's going to be knocked down as he just got there.
Number 36,
Let's go down to Dave Ryan. Dave?
Gary, speaking of the Mount Union campus, Larry Kaler tells us it's not easy to recruit at the D3 level, especially tough in the Purple Raiders League, the Ohio Athletic Conference. He tells us coaches in that league cannot go off campus to recruit. They can watch players' games in person, but can't go to the home. They've got to collect the info, call, and invite the families to come to the campus for a visit. At D3, no scholarships guys are given out. That means that Mount Union staff really relies on the tradition, the reputation, great recruiting skills once a player gets on campus. Really, to me, another amazing aspect of D3 football. They can't go off campus to recruit into the family's homes.
Yeah, and there are no scholarships in Division III. And for the first time, Bill, I didn't know this, they had spring football practice.
They had 15 days of spring, no pads. It's just really refreshing. Not allowed to do anything in the off season. You can't have off-season programs. All the stuff. Look here at the number of scholarships, D3, right there. Tough time. You got really nothing to offer except a wonderful education and a great chance to come out and play in a marvelous football program. And both these coaches do a terrific job, and they're lifers in the business. Both of them could have moved up if they had wished and gone for the big bucks and the big reputations. They stay right at this level, doing a wonderful job.
And that's the reason, Bill, you talked about this being your favorite game. Is all those things you just mentioned. Here's George throwing the end zone. Garcon is there. He's out of bounds. He did not come down in bounds. Pierre Garcon, who earlier caught a 63-yarder for a touchdown, could not stay in the field of play. That was close.
It was, and Whipperford, the corner, Kyle Johnson, in this case, the other corner, number 21, having a tough time staying with Garcon. He just has such speed and body control. Look at him concentrate on this catch. And the official's right there. He can see that toe.
Boy, that was close.
It was very close, but the official's on top of it, and these guys do a great job.
Now, that angle shows he was on the white chalk.
He touched that chalk, and the official, it's amazing how often they're right. It's clearly out of bounds.
Are they going to review this? Yep, they're going to review it, but I don't think there's any issue here from that second replay that our guys in the truck had.
Hey, there's an issue, and there's an issue between Karras and his football team because he does not like that stuff of gesturing to the crowd. The guys are getting the crowd to roar. Larry's right in their face. Jason Lewis, number 72, don't you dare be raising your hands and getting involved in the officiating. Get back out there and get in the huddle.
That was another view, and an even, I think, more conclusive one to show that Garcon's foot was on the white chalk as he came down. So even though they review this, I don't think it's going to change at all. No. Near miss.
No, this is it's confusing about who's cheering and when because everybody's got on purple. Sometimes
on the previous play, The call on the field stands. Incomplete.
Well, they made that quickly, and I'm not surprised. You know, that is true, Bill. One of the issues we have today is the color issue of purple. Both teams with purple, and you got to keep rethinking now. Okay, which is what?
Well, a couple of times I've almost called the wrong team. I did that before the game with a friend that came to the booth. I was talking about Garcon. He's from Whitewater, and I was telling him what a good-looking player this guy is, and he's on the other team. But the thing is, the good thing about replay, I think, is that it proves that the officials are usually right.
Good point, Coach. Second down, 10 now. There's a fake handoff up the middle, and trying to scramble out. There's Jones. He's got some running room to the 15, dives forward, and he has a first down by scrambling to the 12-yard line. A 12-yard scramble. Whipperford over there to make the tackle, but George showing very good escapability on that play.
Excellent body control and presence here. This is poise. The thing to do when you're in trouble is to run straight ahead, take care of the football. He puts the ball away, and then he tries to run over Whipperford. He does not slide. He does not hook. He does not dive. He tries to run over the tackle.
First down now at the 12-yard line inside. 6 minutes to go in this first half. We're tied at 7. Quick pitch. Commit trying to go wide. And, does he take a shot? I mean, the Warhawks were on the rampage that particular time. Wydock, the middle linebacker, who was an outstanding all-conference performer, went racing over. The second year in a row he's been all-conference. We have him unofficially with 4 tackles.
Yeah, Wydock's number 47. He's going to get help from Rabel here, number 53. And these linebackers are obviously the heart and soul. And I mean, that is a football tackle, coming off the blocker, keeping your head up, running across the chest of the ball carrier. That's not easy to do. 126 tackles coming into this game for Wydock.
Now, he's a big guy. He's 6'3", weighs 230 pounds. We've been talking about the other linebacker, 175. He's a big man. Here's George into the back of the end zone. Gardone, touchdown. This time he stays in bounds. Kyle Johnson defending, and Gardone went right back to the same area that earlier he stepped out to make the catch, his second touchdown catch of the day.
Now, I tell you what, Pierre Garcon's about to get in trouble, too, with his coach, because he's doing just a little bit of posturing down there, a little bit of posing after the catches. He did it the first time. This is an incredible catch. I take nothing away from his athletic ability and making a great play, but he got up and he did a little bit of a pose for the fans, and Coach Karras right in the face of Garcon.
Boy, this Garcon is a difference maker, isn't he, though, Bill? I'm really impressed.
Who told you that right after warm-up?
Bill, you tell me. Everything you tell me, I lock down one. I'll tell you right now. So Garcon with a 63-yard touchdown catch, and now a 12-yard. So Joris has really done a nice job directing this offense. And remember that scrambling play, Bill, that kept this drive going.
Review, the call on the field stands, touchdown.
They were reviewing that, and again, that was, I think, pretty conclusive.
I really believe the biggest advantage of the replay system is that it proves that the officials really do know what they're doing almost all the time. They are human, they make mistakes, but man, they're right a lot.
And now Zimmerman to attempt the point after. Randy Mason is the guy that is going to hold, as it's a 13-7 game. The kick is on the way, and he got it. And so Mount Union, who trailed early in this ball game 7-0, have gone to number 1, Garcon. And as an end result, Larry Karras may be carrying that trophy back to Alliance, Ohio again. First down now at the 14-yard line. 14:46 left to go in this football game. Here is Beaver now trying to find some running room, and he is just sworn down. Mount Union has really started to step up defensively. Justin Stickley was there first to stick him, if you will. And there is the trophy, the Division III championship trophy.
Interesting place for it. Looks like it's Santa Claus is working on it in the North Pole. Well, that's the way it was here a couple of days ago, but it's been beautiful today. It's interesting, Gary, always interesting to see what dominating teams can do in the third quarter. So many times the better football team struggles early in the game. It really looked like Whitewater was better prepared in the first quarter. Second quarter kind of even Steven. Third quarter, Mount Union just asserted itself and took over on both sides of the ball.
So the guy that was shaken up on that play for Mount Union is Robert McDavid. He is the senior out of Canal, Winchester, Ohio. He's going to come out of the ball game now. And so it'll bring up a second down, 11 yards to go now for the Warhawks, who are trying somehow to find a way to get back in this one. Jacobs is back over the middle. The completion is made. And that is the fullback, Rulin. And Rulin skips out to the 30-yard line. First down, and that's a beginning point for Whitewater. A 17-yard pickup on the play. Tell you, they said they were going to throw to Rulin a lot. He had 10 catches at the start of this game today, and they feel as a fullback, he's an outstanding addition as a receiver. From the 30-yard line. First down now. Jacobs back. He's got time, and this time it's Derek Stanley. Makes a spin move, and he's to the 40. Stays on his feet. The 45 to the midfield stretch to the 46, and the late flag comes out. Stanley, beautiful move in the open field. That's a 24-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, and his buddy Brent Allen, the little center, is out there in front of him, and had Brent not been there, he might have popped it for a touchdown. He ran right up the back of Brent Allen, and Brent knows it. You get down the field trying to help your teammate, and you end up with him running into you and preventing maybe an even longer run.
5-yard penalty on the defense. 5 yards. First down.
So you tack on another 5 yards at the end of this.
This is a nice throw, and this is so obviously superior athletic ability in the open field. Nice job of balance, put the hand down. Look there, there's a little center out there. He gets drilled again from behind, and had he not been there, Derek Stanley might have gone the distance.
Boy, Stanley's gone the distance this year. He had 16 touchdowns at the start of the year, which tied the school record. He set a school record for yards receiving. Hand off to Beaver. Beaver wide to the 30. It's another first down, and all of a sudden now the Warhawks are starting to put the pieces together offensively. That's a 15-yard pickup on the play.
Well, it's nice to see that the Warhawks are not panicky. Stan Zwiefel, the offensive coordinator, is making nice calls here. He's staying with his running game, the short passing game. They're down 3 touchdowns. They got time to get 3 scores and climb right back into this game, but they need to stick with their offense as they are doing.
3 wideouts. Beaver, the single running back behind Jacobs. A quick hit near side, and it's complete to Murpika, and Murpika is able to get to about the 23-yard line, a gain of about 3 on the play. Russ Watson, the senior, the All-American cornerback, was there to make the stop.
I tell you, I've been watching number 62, Max Sakalaris, the left tackle, all day. He's got one of the most unusual stances I've ever seen in football. It looks like he's setting up to scan the horizon for grasshoppers. But he's effective. He's a good player. I don't know how he does it from that stance.
Bill, if there's any grasshoppers out here today, you've got a scoop. I'm telling you right now. Here is Jacobs double pumping, going for the corner. The ball is up, and it is caught for the touchdown by Lashinsky. Beautifully done. Beautifully thrown. 23 yards, and all of a sudden the Warhawks have some new hope. I tell you, that play was beautifully executed that time.
We've talked all day about the fact that Jim Lashinsky is the spiritual and inspirational leader of this team. He's had a rough day at times. Now just a 5-step drop, a little pump fake, a little head fake by Lashinsky. He beats the double coverage, and that is strictly on Watson. Watson should have been there in the deep third.
And here is Mike Chalk now, who's been shaken up today, and you just wonder how much he'll be affected as this day wears on. He attempts the point after. The kick is on the way. It's good. It's 28-14. Well, we thought these two teams would score a lot of points, and we were surprised how the defenses dominated the first half. But, Bill, that is changing. Lashinsky takes it in. 24 yards. Jacobs with the toss.
My dearest Lisa.
Alumni or alumnus of Wake Forest. He's the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year in the NBA. Just playing outstanding basketball as the Demon Deacons continue to produce some good ones. And now all of a sudden, Whitewater has some hope. They are down by 2 touchdowns. 28-14 with 12. 22 left to go. That last drive was an 86-yard drive. And the kickoff, and coming up on the fly, it's going to be Kamick. Kamick does it all, doesn't he? He brings it across the 30 to the 36-yard line. The touchdown a moment ago to Lashinsky. Jacobs, who was 4 of 4 for 67 yards on the drive, and Lashinsky with the catch. And let's go down to Dave Ryan.
Really is a big day, Gary, for Jim Leshinsky. Not only did he catch that big touchdown pass, but he graduates from Wisconsin Whitewater. In fact, the graduation ceremony is going on today, so Martha Saunders, the chancellor of the school, actually via speakerphone at a team dinner this week here in Virginia, called up and presented Leshinsky and two teammates with their diploma and the commencement ceremony program over the phone. It was a total surprise, and teammates gave them a standing ovation, Gary.
That was a great touch, wasn't it? As that ball was going to be trapped incomplete, and the chancellor for Whitewater comes from the south.
That's right, and the chancellor is going to learn a whole lot about weather this winter coming from Columbus, Georgia up there. And my wife Carol and I did that, but I'm sure she will adjust just fine. It's a wonderful area of the country. People are so friendly. As you know, Gary, you were there for a long time.
Well, don't emphasize a long. I was there about 5+ years.
You were a lot of places a long time.
Well, that's true.
Each place long,
just keep moving around.
Long time.
Second down now. 10 yards to go after that last short pass. And into rather Garcon. Garcon to the 40. Here comes his speed. And he is hit around the neck and dragged down just short of the first down, I believe. Carl Johnson was over there. He was the guy who made the stop. And college hoops will continue on ESPN and ESPN2. It'll be the Arizona Wildcats and the Utah Utes hooking up. And then at 8 on ESPN2, Ohio State against Iowa State. College football on ESPN and ESPN2 today as the hoops action is in full swing. Third down after that play. Third down and a yard to go.
Gary, really interesting. Garcon jumped up, indicated to the official, I was inbounds. The clock should have continued to run. He has been instructed and coached so well, he knew he was supposed to stay inbounds.
Here's a handoff to Kamick, and Kamick is going to fumble the ball, or no, they're trying to tackle it away. It looked like for a moment that ball was going to come out. I don't know what exactly happened. Kamick ends up with it, but all of a sudden bodies were flying around like they thought that ball might come out. Rice and Whitewater. Let's see if we can figure this one out.
Well, I'll tell you what you can figure out. This defense is bound and determined to get this drive stopped. And that's exactly what they've done.
Wow.
They're going to get that football back on that 3rd and 1. They threw him for a loss. What a great job by the Whitewater defense. And they are right in this football game. You can thank Eric Kosterman for that.
I tell you, Kamick was hit hard, but he was hanging on all the way down. But it is going to bring up a 4th down.
Colin Price and Kosterman forced that penetration to stop that play.
And so now, Vicka is back. Vicka comes up to the 30, fields it on the fly to the 35. He'll come to the 39, and it'll be tackled there. 25-yard punt, 9-yard return. DeRiggi was over to make the tackle. 28-14. Going to start this drive now at the 39-yard line with 11:07 left in the game. Handoff comes to Beaver. Beaver trying to go up the middle, and there's just nothing happening there. Matt Reese is there.
Watch Pierre Garcon on the reverse. Now he gets on the ground and he is inbounds. He jumps up. He's trying to gesture to the official, wind the clock, wind the clock. The official is indicating these out of bounds, so no time ran off the clock. Now the short 25-yard punt with a 9-yard return, that is a net punt of 16 yards. That's nothing. So Mount Union being hurt first by the official's call that did not run the time off, and then a short punt with too long a return. Field position for UW Whitewater.
And there was a pass intended for Schmidt, the tight end. There is a flag. Matt Reese was there. He was defending the middle linebacker. Let's see what this penalty flag is all about.
Well, from body language, it looks like it's going to be on Mount
Defensive
Union.
pass interference, number 26.
And that is the guy we just mentioned, Reese, who got there just a little prematurely on the play. He is a sophomore who has really played well. He runs so well and will bode well for this team the next couple of years after Mike Gibbons moves on after graduating this year from Mount Union. So at the 45-yard line now, it's going to be a first down by penalty. 3 wideouts on this particular play. Jacobs from the gun. Comes out throwing the ball far side. Leshinsky, the intended receiver, Rose defending. Let's go down to Dave Ryan.
Right, Gary, here on the Mount Union side, a little concern for Larry Karras and his assistant coaches. They went to the starting offensive line and also Pierre Garcon about how the offense has to take control of this game. A 3 and out isn't going to do it, trying to win this ball game. They said, hey, before the game, we told you guys we wanted 35 points. That's still the case. Garcon getting in some teammates' faces too, so the emotion on this sideline Starting to brim over a bit, Gary, for the Purple Raiders.
Well, you look at these two teams, they've averaged almost 42 points a game, each of them. And so he figured 35, and they've got 28 right now. Here's a pass complete for the first down. Murpicka was there, a 12-yard pickup on the play, and you just see a new bounce in the step of this Warhawk team right now.
Little small things combined with a few big things turn the momentum of football games. An overused term, momentum, but you have felt a shift here as we head into the fourth quarter as UW Whitewater is believing that they can win this game.
They're trying to come back after being down by 3 touchdowns, now down by 2. Jacobs, he throws it complete to Schmidt, the tight end. He'll fight his way for another first down as he gets close to the 33-yard line. Rose and McDavid on the tackle. 11-yard pickup on the play. And Jacobs right now is in a very good rhythm throwing the football for this Warhawk team.
Really nice thinking there, meaning offensive play calling. Good job getting the tight end open. And a little bit of a what's called a pick route, or people rubbing off against one another. The defensive backs run into each other, so you end up with Pete Schmidt running alone out in the flat for the first down.
They come out. Murpicka along with Lashinsky split to the near side of the field. Here is Jacobs back. Going deep. Ball is up. Stanley there. Some contact between he and it's going to be Watson. Russ Watson. No flag on the play, and they'll bring it back.
Now that was an uncatchable ball, and there have been too many balls by Justin Jacobs that he's just thrown too far. I mean, first of all, the coverage is good. The deep route was not effective. Nothing was done to freeze Ross Watson to force him to plant his feet so that you could run by him. He's just running deep. He bumped the receiver down, and the ball was well overthrown, so there could be no chance of an interference call.
Watson's one of their fastest players. He runs a 4.5 Jacobs rolling to the near side this time. And this pass is going to be caught twice, actually. Sliding to a stop that time was Lashinsky. The ball got away for an instant, but he was able to latch back onto it, and he picks up some yardage, moves it inside the 25. It's going to bring up third down and still about 2 yards to go.
Think they'll give him 2 catches on that?
They might, but he's glad he was able to regroup. Third down, 2 yards to go. Lashinsky split to the near side of the field. Beaver straight ahead. He's got the first down, 15 to the 14-yard line. And all of a sudden, everything is happening. We have a man shaken up on the play.
Great job blocking there. Number 76, Cal Schmidt, the right tackle on Stickley. Number 5, the defensive end. And what we're seeing is a resurgence by the offensive line, a resurgence by Wisconsin Whitewater up front. People getting in their face on the sideline, working.
I tell you, the guy was shaken up, but bounced right back up as that little center, Brett Allen. I mean, he just got back into the mix in a hurry.
You're not going to get him out of there.
From the 15-yard line, a first down. Here's Jacobs play action, throwing. Lashinsky's there, can't get to it. That time it was, again, the corner, and over there covering this time is Anthony Ursetta, a junior who has been moved up to the depth because of the injury we mentioned earlier to Ryan Fell. So with Bill Curry, Dave Ryan, I'm Gary Bender. This is the Division III championship game. We have 8 minutes and 42 seconds left in it. All of a sudden, UW Whitewater thinks they have a chance. They were down 28-7. Now it's 28-14, and they're marching again. Second down 10 from the 15-yard line. Jacobs really running this team right now, Bill, with a lot of authority. He steps back up, double pumps, throws to the end zone. Touchdown is made. Pete Schmidt, this time he hangs on. 15 yards on the play. He dropped one almost in that same vicinity at the end of the first half, but not this time.
You've heard of protection sacks. This was a protection touchdown. The protection was so good. The protection's so good that Jacobs has a chance to sit in there, double pump. You normally don't have a chance to do that. And this time Schmidt comes open across the middle, a long developing route. Takes time to throw those things. Got it done.
Wow. And all of a sudden we have a 7-point game as the point after is there. Jacobs has really taken over this game. It'll be chalk kicking off. 8:37 left in this game. At one time, this was a 28-7 game in favor of Mount Union. And the kickoff is going to be hauled in by Kamick. Kamick up to the 28, but to the 30, and gang tackle there. And that's where Mount Union will set it up. And so with 8:29 left to go, what looked like a cakewalk for Mount Union, they had really stormed out to take a 28-7 lead into the fourth quarter. All of a sudden, their lead has been cut to 7. This is for the Division III championship. For Rezowitz, his team has no quit in them. They have fought back into this game, and they believe right now Mount Union has to be concerned. With Bill Curry, Dave Ryan, I'm Gary Bender. Glad to have you with us. We're in Salem, Virginia. This is the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl for this championship. And now, here comes this Mount Union team, and Garcon, the guy who hurt him so much early in the ball game, completing that pass. Joris comes out, and they're going to pick up a couple of yards on the play. Let's make it 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6. You can see Garcon, he had that brilliant catch of 63 yards for a touchdown. Came back later to catch another one from 12 yards out. And he was the guy that looked like, Bill, he had broken this game wide open, and it was not going to be a battle for Larry Karras and the Purple Raiders.
Well, I think you're going to see some more of him right here in this drive.
2nd down, they get a long 5, 4 wideouts, and there he is. You called it, Coach. And Garcon is going to be very close to the 1st down. I don't know if he got it. They may have to measure on this one. He is close to the 40-yard line. Colin Price is over there to make the tackle.
Well, he has this tendency to run east and west because he thinks he can outrun everybody and get to the sideline. And that's twice today that he's made a mistake and given up a chance at a 1st down. He's very disappointed in himself. But there are a variety of ways to get the football to your best player at times like this. That ball was not thrown very well, but he brought it in from behind and made the 1st.
He did get the 1st down. He did have enough, just short of the 40-yard line. Movement up front. A handoff now to Commit. Commit trying to go to the left side, and they love to run left. And he picks up 3 yards on the play. The Division I Women's Volleyball National Championship is tonight at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. And for a preview of the women's volleyball tournament, visit NCAAsports.com, the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. 2nd down, 8 yards to go.
Defensive coordinator Brian Borland for UW Whitewater is going to have to bring some pressure here. He can't just sit back in the zone and let them eat up this clock.
6 minutes, 45 seconds left in the ball game. Joris throwing, and a diving catch is made. Beautifully done. That is Boehm, and Boehm all of a sudden becoming a big figure in this game. An 11-yard pickup. He had a team high of 49 yards receiving in last week's game, a sophomore.
Here's UW Whitewater in their zone. Nice job of running off the zone coverage and turning and catching the football by Boehm. Or almost catching it, or sort of catching it.
I was going to say.
You can hear the crowd's response.
Yeah.
Not happy with the fact that ball came loose toward the end. But he was on the ground, and the ground cannot cause a fumble.
Almost. He did. 1st down now. They're going to mark the ball at the 47-yard line of Whitewater. Handoff to Commit. And Commit pounds it across the 45. And Larry Karras right now would be very content to run the time off the clock. Wydick was there. That's his 10th tackle of the game. We had heard about him. He is something special, Bill. I mean, he is seemingly is everywhere on the football field.
Yeah, he's a heck of a football player. I'm very surprised at Larry Karras and his organization. Matt Campbell, his fine young offensive play caller, they're snapping this football with 7 and 8 seconds left on the clock. That's surprising. They should be, the quarterback should be standing and letting it go down to 3 or 2 seconds every time.
You saw Wydick look like he was shaken up, but he's able to stay in the ball game. Here's a wide receiver screen to Garcon. Garcon fighting forward and very close to the 1st down before he goes down at that point. So Garcon is the guy now who's trying to put this game in the old deep freeze. Let's go now to Dave Ryan.
Well, Gary and Bill, how did Pierre Garcon get himself from West Palm Beach, Florida, up to Alliance, Ohio? He was actually at a coaching clinic when he met a coach from Norwich University of Vermont. Had a big year there. It's a D3 military college up in the New England area. Then he decided to make the call to Larry Karras and his staff because he wanted to go to a D3 powerhouse that could win games. So he pretty much walked on, invited himself to become a Purple Raider. It's worked out pretty well for
I would say so, and just think about it, Rhino. He's just a sophomore. He's going to be, in the next 2 years, something to deal with. Here's Kamek now, and he's trying to get a 1st down on the 3rd and about 2 And let's see if they're going to give him the first down. It'll be tackled by Ogrizovic. Ogrizovic is a sophomore out of Burlington, Wisconsin, and they're going to measure. Nope, they're going to call it a first down.
Gary, this is the second time in a row, the second drive in a row, where there was a critical situation. Mount Union desperately needed to make a first down to make the attempt to run this clock out, and they're now on a drive that began with about 7:50, so they've run over 3 minutes off that clock. The last time they failed to make it, then had a short punt, and it resulted in a touchdown by UW Whitewater. This time they made the first down, and they are going to let that clock run more now. You can see that they're standing in the huddle.
I tell you, Kamick has done a pretty good job. Listen to these numbers, Bill. 24 carries, 158 yards. Of course, that big 95-yard touchdown run, tying the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl record. And here comes Kamick again, his 25th carry. And on a first down, he moves it to the 32-yard line. Rabel, one of the linebackers, there to make the stop. Clock running now, and it's all in favor of Mount Union as they grind it down. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left. They're going to mark this ball at the 33-yard line. Second down, 6. So Mount Union, I think they thought they had this one in their old hip pocket. They were up 28-7, and they forgot to tell Whitewater that, and they have cut it down to 7, and now Mount Union having to grind it out and eat up the clock.
Well, it's almost impossible to keep yourself from relaxing just a little bit, and that's what they did, and it put them in this tough situation.
Here's Kamick again. He gets both hands around the ball, spun down. Whitewater with yet another tackle in the game, and now Whitewater's going to start using some timeouts.
Yep, this is exactly the time that they should begin to use the timeouts.
They use it first. So Mount Union trying to put this one away. 3 minutes, 32 seconds left to go, up by 7.
10 East.
Well, you know, Prince will do that old back cut stuff they run all the time. It goes all the way back to Pete Carrill. You can see now a little praying going on right now. Mount Union on a 3rd down, and George is going to throw, and he has a catch, but there is a flag. The catch is made by Kamick, but there's a penalty flag. Whitewater over there to make the tackle. That would be enough for the first down. So that'll stop the clock with 3:27 left to go. So
here again, the
down.
Body language is telling me that Mount Union thinks that it's on UW Whitewater, and that's just been confirmed. It's defensive holding. One of the worst things that could happen for Whitewater right now, certainly.
This is the 3rd time these two teams have met. And
Holding, number 6 on the defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
That is Matt Beluski. He is a sophomore.
Matt Beluski, and guess who he's holding? Garcon, number 1. Got him right by the jersey.
Yep.
And Garcon, of course, being the demonstrative person that he is, let the official know. The official agreed with him, and that was a huge call, and that's at least going to cost UW Whitewater a couple of timeouts and trying to get this clock stopped.
So it's a first down, and by penalty, they'll mark it at the 23-yard line. Kamick straight ahead. Kyle drives his way. They get to about the 16 and fights forward even closer to the 15-yard line. Derek Brown made the stop. Whitewater will use their second timeout. I was just saying this is the 3rd time these clubs have met. And Whitewater, in a home series, lost to Mount Union 44-21 and 40-17. And here today, down 28-21 as Whitewater now with 1 timeout remaining.
Gary, we talked about the marks of champions before this game began. Another mark of a champion is that when the challenger takes it on the chin and you got them down 28-7 and they come back at you with 2 touchdowns as if to say, look, we're in this thing, you're not putting us away, then the question is, can you put them away? And what Mount Union is doing right now is just that.
Yeah, and as I listened to what you had said at the start of the broadcast, champions never quit.
You don't see any quit in either one of these teams. There's still a whole lot of hitting going on, but the thing that impresses me the most right now is the offensive line play of Mount Union. They're coming up with 2nd and 2 at a desperate time when Wisconsin Whitewater's strongest element is their defensive front, and that defensive front's up there scratching and fighting with those terrific linebackers. This is just a great contest.
This drive consumed 5 minutes and 41 seconds, 11 plays, 56 yards, thanks to Kirk McCarley, our statistician, Kim Anderson, and Tom Delnos, our guys up here in the booth who kept these two purple teams, I think, differentiating between the two of them all afternoon long. And also a thanks to Sarge Carter, our producer, and Steve Turnberger, our director. And we wish all you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, as we have now a 2nd down and 3 after Whitewater just used their second timeout. They have 1 left, down 28-21. eBay, the fullback, handoff to Kamick. Kamick to the 10, to the 5. Kamick's going to score, and that'll do it. Kamick just stayed on his feet, his 3rd touchdown catch. I should say run, 15 yards. There is a flag late. Kamick has just worn out this Warhawk defense. Man, is he something.
He is, and he got tremendous blocking that time from his big fullback, Kaliche eBay, number 32, the lead blocker. Been doing a good job all day. A kick out on defensive end, Ogrizovic, and we'll have a chance to see that after the kick. Probably a celebration penalty there.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. As coming in now will be Zimmerman to attempt the point after. Kamick is a strong candidate for the MVP of this game.
And you called it earlier, Gary, that Mount Union really likes running to their left side behind Tom Manning and Derek Blanchard, 51
After
and
the
75.
play, we have a dead ball foul, number 21 on the defense. The touchdown stands. The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
That is Kyle Johnson, the defensive back, so it wasn't a celebration as we anticipated.
No, and what that means is that Mount Union is going to kick off from the 50-yard line, and that is real bad news for Whitewater.
Well, that touchdown made it a 34-21 lead with 2:50 left in the ball game. Zimmerman out of the hold of Randy Mason, and the kick is going to be right down central. 35-21 as Kamick with 3 touchdowns today. Look at him. 28 yards, 185 yards rushing, 28 carries. He's received 7 for 61. And, of course, the big run of 95 yards earlier, and this is his last effort.
And you can see 32, eBay, with a beautiful kick-out block on the big defensive end, Ryan Ogrizovic. That's hard to do. When you're a back and you got to take that big defensive end on. Great job by Kaliche eBay.
I think you'd like to say that name.
I do. It's very lyrical. And it is. It's a lovely name. I think it actually is the proper pronunciation. I think is Kalechi eBay. But man, he's doing a great job of blocking. And there's Garcon, who's had himself a heck of a day leading his team. And that's what you do if you're a champion. You answer when you get smashed back after you think you got somebody down and out. Then you have a chance to put them away. And now they're not put away. They're 2 minutes and 50 seconds, so it's not over. This field position thing is not going to be aided by the 15-yard penalty on Kyle Johnson.
Whitewater does have 1 timeout left. You were just looking graphically a moment ago. Princeton, Wake Forest coming up immediately after this game. And this true freshman, Kamick, has caught the attention of everybody in Division III if he had not before. He has made a huge statement here this afternoon. Zimmerman kicking off. There'll be no return on this one. And so they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. Let's go back to Reese Davis. Reese, take it away.
All right, Gary, getting set for some basketball coming up in just a little while. As soon as you guys finish up with the Division III National Championship game, Princeton and Wake Forest underway. That's Justin Gray knocking down the first bucket of the game. It was a 3. Wake with a 7-3 lead over Princeton. Still very early in the first half. Get you out there to Winston-Salem in a bit.
All right, Reese, that's right. We'll be switching there immediately after this game. 2:50 left in this one now. Whitewater with a last gasp effort down here by 14 points after cutting it to 7. Jacobs to want to throw the football, scrambling around, and he is going to be thrown for a loss. That was Brower, and Brower with his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So that'll move it all the way back inside the 15-yard line as the clock runs down to 2.5 minutes to go.
Nice job in the 2 deep zone, taking away the flats and the routes that Whitewater would really like to throw, and that was a coverage sack.
Whitewater, who's undefeated coming into this ball game at 14-0, and that ball broken up by the interior of the defensive line. They smacked it down that time. It may have hit the official.
It was broken up by the umpire. You hate to see that. The umpires hate it. Their job is to stay out of the way, and he just, bless his heart.
Do they keep stats?
Right in the throat, too. I tell you, that doesn't feel good.
Bill, do you think they keep stats for passes broken up by umpires?
I think that the league offices do, and the idea is you don't stand upright there and hold your head up so you get drilled with that football. And if you're the quarterback, it makes you sick because you need every completion.
That's right. 3rd down and 16 now for Justin Jacobs. Jacobs had a tremendous year. The junior out of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, comes up throwing, and this will skip incomplete. Lashinsky, the intended receiver, at the 32. And that's going to bring up a 4th down now. 4th and 16. So this will be the last gasp effort now for the Warhawks on a 4th down to try to somehow keep their hopes alive. You can see that the quarterback, the counterpart, Mike Joris, very happy with what developed today. He is a junior out of Woodsville, Ohio, and they were talking about he just got better and better every week. Got a great arm, strong arm, become a real leader of this football team. The 2nd game on, he became the starter for Mount Union. So 4th down, 16 yards to go. This time, Jacobs throwing over the middle, and it's caught. And it's Lashinsky. And Lashinsky keeps them alive. Their hope's still very dim, but still alive. That's a 24-yard gain.
That is exactly why you saw Larry Karras exhorting his team. He knows his guys are over there grinning on the sideline. You see any smile on that face right there? No, he knows that this is a very dangerous team. Lashinsky comes across on 4th and 16. A reliable receiver makes a great catch in a critical situation. Whitewater's not dead yet.
Not dead yet. 1st down now as Jacob throws to the near side, and this is a catch by Lance Douglas. Douglas will get out of bounds. He'll stop the clock with 1:45. His forward progress to the 39-yard line. Ross Watson over to make the tackle for Mount Union. See Karras encouraging his troops on.
Yeah, he's encouraging them deep. He's telling the secondary, you stay deeper than the deepest. You don't let anybody behind you. You make sure you come up and make sure tackles. Get people on the ground. Don't let them out of bounds. That's why you're in a hard corner and 2 deep. You don't let that guy out of bounds.
1:45 to go in the Division III championship game. Mount Union trying to win their 8th title in 13 years. It comes down to a 2nd and 9. That ball is short, incomplete. As Merkvika was the intended receiver. We'll be going to the Princeton-Wake Forest game immediately at the end of this one. 1:40 left. 3rd down coming up. They had a 3rd and 16 early, just a moment ago earlier, and now have a 3rd down and 9. So the hardware is just about ready to be presented. And right now we're going to have a timeout by Mount Union, as Mount Union now has 2 timeouts left in this ball game. This has been a game that had really started out looking like Whitewater was going to have an outstanding game. They led 7-0, then trailed at halftime, and 28-7 at one time. Amos Alonzo Stagg played college football at Yale, Bill, and tell us more about it.
Well, he just is almost unbelievable. Born in 1862, he died in 1965 at the age of 103, having retired from coaching at age 98. Are you listening, Joe Paterno? That means you got at least 20 more years, buddy. Anytime you see people go in motion, anytime you see a huddle, anytime you see a shift, anytime you see a reverse, a fake punt, a quick kick, a tackling dummy or a blocking dummy, or padded goalposts, or numbers on the backs of jerseys, or a Statue of Liberty play, you are seeing innovations brought about by Amos Alonzo Stagg. Stagg for many years was the winningest coach of all time with 340 victories, 200 losses, 36 ties in his storied career. Amazing football coach Amos Alonzo Stagg.
And he passed away, Bill, at the age of 102.
103.
Was it 103?
103.
Well, anyway, he was a man who had some longevity. What an outstanding man. As now scrambling is Jacobs. Jacobs trying to get the 1st down. It looks like he's very close. Brower there on that 3rd down 9. Let's see where they're going to mark it. He may just be short. Clock has stopped, though. They may measure. What are they going to do? They're sighting. They're going to measure.
Well, I'll tell you, Mount Union's trying to get them to wind that clock. They wonder, Larry Karras and his team are wondering, what are you doing out there? Why is the clock stopped? And I don't know the answer. Oh, yeah, they are going to measure.
Yeah, they're going to measure.
That's the answer. That's the answer. Okay.
So they'll bring the sticks from the far side with 1:33 left to go. And Mount Union wanting desperately to take that hardware back to Alliance, Ohio, and Whitewater saying, hey, we're not giving up yet. It's going to be short of the first down. It'll be fourth down.
Wouldn't you know it, when you need a first down the most desperately, you come up 4th and inches, and you got to run a sneak, which takes valuable time off the clock, but you got to do it. You got to make the first down. And if you're Mount Union, you know if you get this stop, it is all over.
And so Jacobs will bring him out now with 1:33 left to go. 14-0 year for this Wisconsin Whitewater team. Larry Karras's team came in here 13-1. We documented their only loss way back on October 22nd. And now, as Bill was mentioning, they're going to have to try to pick up the first down running here. And Jacobs sneaks it, and he will get the first down. And a little bit more as he crosses the midfield stripe. And here come a couple of flags.
Yeah, things are getting testy down there. The fellows don't want to lose the game, and guys are pushing and shoving a little bit. Gets to be a little talk at the bottom of those pile-ups. A lot of emotion, a lot of passion in both these teams.
During the play, face mask on the defense, 5-yard penalty, the first down.
So they get the first down, and that'll move it inside the 43 with 1:21 left to go. Still one timeout left for the Warhawks. Lashinsky and Stanley go split. In the slot is Merkvika, as Jacobs underneath center this time. Jacobs gets a block from Beaver. Then he's going to be sacked. He'll be thrown back at the 50-yard line, and that is going to be Jesse Wells. We haven't talked as much about Wells today as we have Buddy Wolf, but that is an excellent play by Wells. That's the third sack now of the game for Mount Union, and there's the final timeout now by Whitewater with 1:05 left to go on a second down and about 10 yards to go. Well, let's look back, Bill, and document it, how these teams all got here. You know, Linfield was the defending champion. They had an outstanding quarterback in Brett Elliott, who won the Ghilardi Trophy as the MVP in Division III. He had played collegiately at Utah for Urban Meyer and transferred there. And Wesley, of course, ended up getting beat by UW Whitewater. That was at Forrest Perkins Stadium last week. They had a snowy, kind of a slippery day. Rowan, who had met Mount Union so many times. They've been a real adversary for them. And Mount Union continuing on. Brett Elliott was a guy who decided that maybe he should move on after Alex Smith, the right on the scene at Utah, to become the #1 pick of the 49ers. Outstanding young man. And here is the trophy. We're talking about the Ghilardi Trophy. Now, this trophy, if you're wondering about that and who in the world that is St. John's coach, John Ghilardi, who has 432 wins in 57 seasons. That ball is dribbled back now to Jacobs. Jacobs has it deflected up in the air. That was a peculiar play, ends up incomplete.
Well, what's peculiar, and Brent Allen is the center, and what happened is the ball slipped out of his hand. When the ball goes on the ground like that, that means that it's gotten in the muck and the mud, and the officials do the best they can to keep the ball clean, but when it gets so slippery, sometimes the center's snap and the gun doesn't even get halfway there. That's what happened. It slipped out of Brent's hands. Then the quarterback alertly got the ball up, Jacobs did, threw it, and then it was tipped in the air by Jesse Wells, 97, the two-gap player that we really haven't talked too much about.
Jesse Wells and Buddy Wolf, those two guys inside. They love that defensive line of Mount Union. You can see why. They've done a great job today. And now here's Jacobs rolling with 59 seconds left in the game. He throws it up the field. It's caught by Derek Stanley. Stanley's going to be tackled at the 32-yard line. And that's an 18-yard pickup. They will stop the clock for the first down and mark it at the 32. I tell you, you got to love Whitewater. They are just hanging tough. They are not giving up in this football game.
No, Derek Stanley and Jim Lashinsky got over 1,000 yards. They got 27 touchdowns between them. They're not going to do anything but keep fighting, keep playing. If they score here soon, they got a chance at an onside kick, and stranger things have happened.
And Mount Union's going to call a timeout. So they have one left. Whitewater has exhausted their timeouts. 58 seconds left in this ball game. And I would imagine, as you look at Karras, he's thinking this game's never going to end. Let's go down now to Dave Ryan.
And his son, Vince Karras, a chance to win yet another championship. Gary, he's an offensive assistant coach here and actually has 7 rings already. 3 as a player, 4 have come as an assistant coach. 1 as a GA, and he's been a full-time assistant for the last 3 years, 2000, 2001, and 02, their national championships. Vince told me before the game it's actually a little more redeeming to be an assistant coach to watch your team win a championship because you can develop young players, see them come to the ranks, and win a title. It's a pretty unique situation, a chance to win 8 rings. He said, yeah, I've got all my rings in the basement right now. It's not in a trophy case. He's got to put those on display, right?
Well, you know, this is the first year that Karras hasn't called the plays. He's given some of his young coaches, like his son,
and Matt Campbell.
The offensive coordinator, some responsibility.
He lets Matt call the plays. First time in his whole career that he hasn't called the plays.
So he calls his son Vince, the defensive coordinator. He didn't even used to designate that. Here's Jacobs, a throwback to Schmidt, the tight end. Schmidt to the 10, to the 5, dives, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 1-yard line. How about this? Schmidt, who could run for a tight end, went 31 yards, and now Whitewater, with 50 seconds left of the game, is at the 1-yard line.
I'm telling you, you have to love these 2 football teams. Whitewater's showing no quit, a sprint to the right, and a throwback to the tight end Schmidt coming across the field. He runs extremely well. We saw him on a DVD that was sent to us by Whitewater. We saw him go the distance, and he very nearly went the distance that time. Got a shot on, looks like he got a shot on his thigh or something.
Yep. This guy's a junior, and he had 40 catches before the start of the game today. He had a touchdown catch last week. He's really come on, and he made a big play there. They're going to mark the ball just inside the 2. It's going to be 1st and goal there with 50 seconds left. If they score here, the onside kick, who knows?
Who knows
what's going to happen in this game.
Well, that was a great call by Stan Zwiefel. The sprint out to the right, the half roll, and then the throwback to the tight end coming across. A great call.
Stanley and Leshinsky split out on this play. They're going to give it to Beaver. Beaver trying to get inside. Fights his way forward. Still on his feet. Just won't give up. What a great effort. He did not get in, but I'm telling you, he fought for everything he could get. He's just at about the, 1-foot line? It's going to bring up 2nd and goal there. Boy, that was a great effort by Beaver.
Yeah, you don't think plays, you think players in this situation. Beaver's the guy that has done it for him all year.
And now here's Jacob trying to sneak it in. Did he get in? They're indicating that the Whitewater's players say there's no indication by the guys that count, the guys in the striped shirts. It's going to be now a 3rd and goal. Clock running, valuable time getting away now. 10 seconds left in the game. Wells is one of those that are going to spike the ball and kill the clock. There's flags everywhere.
Big play by Jesse Wells. He absolutely stoned the quarterback sneak. The big man, we call him a 2-gap player because he can line up on the center or the guard, and he can defend both gaps on either side. That's exactly what he did.
97 on the defense, off sides, half the distance to the goal line.
Okay, the way he did it was by jumping off sides. But by golly, he did get the play stopped. They did not get it in the end zone, and even though they're penalized, it's only a penalty of a couple of inches, and valuable seconds ran off the clock. Essentially, he probably won the game in that situation.
Yeah, because it's down to 7 seconds,
Yep.
Bill. It's a very good point. Here's Jacobs. He didn't get in this time, did he? Yes, he did. After a second effort, he was straightened up. He fell back in, and they have scored with 2 seconds left in the game.
But look at the time on the clock. Rather than having 10 or 15 seconds to get an onside kick and have a chance at a Hail Mary, now 2 seconds. When the ball is touched in play after this kickoff, it's going to run out, and the game will be over.
But what is so significant is that Whitewater fought to the very end, and they made this a very nervous situation for Mount Union.
It was valiant. When you saw Larry Karras' face, you just know he's been in too many football games, and he knew his guys were over there grinning and enjoying what they thought was a win. They didn't know the fight of Whitewater.
I agree with you totally. As now Chalk to attempt it. That ball's dribbled back, and they still kick it through. The ball was dribbled back to the holder, and still somehow Chalk got it through the uprights. 35-28. Lucas Nelson is the snapper. And so now with 2 seconds left, the onside kick. And I'll tell you what, this game has lived up to its billing. It's been a terrific football game.
That ball has gotten real slippery out there, but you notice that nobody's been fumbling it, and the receivers have been catching it, and the backs have been handling it, so the centers ought to be able to handle it as well. And it always hurts me to be critical of center.
I wonder why. Where does that come from? I mean,
most important position on the field.
You know, told me that. You've drilled that into my head all year long. I'm almost ready to believe it. There as well, as you were talking about him earlier, the two-gap guy in the middle.
It's really hard to see him, but he's the biggest guy out there in the middle. He jumps just a little early, and we've talked about defensive linemen jumping the snap count, anticipating and trying to guess. And yes, he was offside a little bit, but a bunch of seconds ran off the clock. And when they took the penalty, it was only a couple of inches in the penalty. And I'm not saying he intentionally broke the rule, because no defensive lineman would certainly ever do a thing like that.
Okay.
But I mean, this has been such a tough, hard-fought football game.
It's just been a terrific football game. You told me I would enjoy doing this game, the Division III championship, and these guys have played their guts out here today. I mean, they've given it everything they've got, and now with 2 seconds left, Whitewater attempting the onside. And you got to look back at the way this game started. Mount Union looked like they were very slow out of the chute, trailing 7-0, and then they started fighting back. They've got everybody lined up for this onside by Chalk. Got to go 10 yards, and coming up with it is Kostelik, and that will stop the clock with 1 second. Still have a second left. And so Mount Union is going to win this football game. They're going to win their 8th national championship in 13 years. And they still have to take another snap here with a second to go.
Well, Larry Karras is livid because he's saying, look, 2 seconds. His player went straight to the ground, which is exactly what he's trained to do. And I frankly, I don't know how there could be a second left. Yeah. Who got the football? Who was that, number 6 that got the football? Anyhow, whoever got the football, you don't train him to stand up. No, it was Kostelnik, number 9. I knew it was a single digit. So after having a great game on defense, he gets to put him away by coming up with the football. And you don't want him to stand around and let the clock run out. You want him on the ground. That's what he did.
And this will do it.
That's it.
And Mount Union has won it. The guys who have dominated Division III have won another one. And there's a guy smiling. You mentioned Karras doesn't smile a lot. He's smiling right now, Bill.
Yeah, he smiled for a second, but he's already thinking about next year. And, going back to the fact that they lost a game October 22nd to Ohio Northern, the players said that really galvanized us. It made us realize we're not infallible.
All right, the final score here is going to be 35-28 Mount Union. For Bill Curry and Dave Ryan, I'm Gary Bender. Coming up next, Princeton and Wake Forest, as Mount Union has won their 8th Division III championship in 13 years.
What's the matter with you? We got nothing on Uzielli. You went to his house?
I got his prints at the murder scene.
How many other prints you find there? 1,000? You go to anybody else's house?
Nope.
Good. Very good. Good thinking.
Lieutenant, the girl did work at Uzielli's club.
Not to mention he's a permanent fixture at the Keller Hotel.
So what? You don't understand. The pimp, the girl, Uzielli, all have one thing in common. It's called the sex business. Anybody in that racket goes in and out of that sex club and the hotel. Connecting Uzielli with a sleazy hotel, that's like connecting you with an Irish pub. Don't mean you killed the barmaid. Stoper. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, right, hold on. This is Jerry Kleinert, Uzielli's attorney. 2-to-1 harassment charges. He wants to talk to you. I thought you had more sense.
Logan, I'm listening. Where? I'll be there in an hour. Uzielli wants a meeting. Senior. Not Junior.
Then you go wired. If he offers you a bribe, I want it in full stereo.
Mr. Uzzieli, what did you want to see us about?
I want to help my boy any way I can.
So what are you saying?
What any father would say, that's all.
You know, someone took a shot at me this morning. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
Why do you ask me?
Allegedly, you're a godfather, right?
I am a godfather. I've got godchildren in all 5 boroughs. There are rules, detective. I don't break them. If my boy kills a whore, it's unfortunate. A terrible tragedy for her family. But if my boy takes a shot at a cop, that's a tragedy for my family. I just wanted to assure you that if there has been some problem in the past, it won't happen again. You have my word.
Could it get any louder in here? No wonder he works out of a bowling alley. Not that he said a damn thing worth recording anyway. Although he did admit he was a godfather.
Yeah.
Mike.
What?
What's up?
I don't know who the dirty cop is, and I don't know if he has anything to do with our case. But whoever he is, he's in my old precinct. I might even know the guy. Look, I just thought you needed to know this because we're in this together.
Yeah, thanks. Wow, this is great. Well, at least you're not doing the sister.
You know, wait, are you gonna wear a leotard?
Why don't you come to the theater and find out?
Well, wait, I live for the dance, baby. I mean, but what I want to know is what are we gonna do after the dance? You know what I mean? Listen, I want to tell you something. I don't want you to worry about anything, all right?
I don't.
Because I'm getting this guy. Come here. I'm getting this guy. I'm gonna get him. I am this close to getting him. And you know what? When I get this guy, when I get this case, front page of the New York Times, Daily News, New York Post, and I'm back. I'm gonna be back in Manhattan.
So? What? What? Is that what this is all about? Getting back to Manhattan?
Oh, no. No. That's not what it's all about. What do you mean? I'm talking about the case, you know. If I get the case done,
I made a huge mistake.
Don't take it like that. It's not what If I get this case and it goes the way I think it's gonna go.
I made a huge mistake.
Georgianne, I did not mean it like that. Georgianne!
Please, just let me go home.
Wait a minute.
No.
There's a fox in the hen house. Which hen house are you talking about? Where's Catwalk?
Hey, you're messing up my thing, Mo.
Was so quiet, Sammy left around midnight.
I usually like my crime scenes with a little blood.
Yeah, cover for him, he covers for me.
Maybe that song must have been the wrong place at the wrong time.
Why are we pointing guns at each other?
I don't know. Why are we?
She saw the door open, heard a noise in the room. You're out late, are you? Well, couldn't wait till morning.
I was just gonna ask you the same thing.
This is my tour, 4 to 1.
1:30.
Yeah, I guess it is, yeah. Well, I stopped by the hotel, talked to one of my snitches. I thought she might know something about your homicide.
Did she?
Nope. She was in lockup that night.
I'm just wondering why the son of interest in my case.
Just trying to help, brother.
Okay, Sammy. You mind if I run something by you then?
Shoot. Yeah, I don't mean that literally.
You haven't been in this room prior to the day we were all here?
This room? No, not this room, no. Why?
Well, it's just they found your prints in here.
Your prints found in this room?
Yeah.
Lenny's, Fafachi's, your partner's prints?
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
You left around 5:15, wasn't it?
Yeah, 5:15, something like that. Me, Briscoe, Fafachi drove back to the house. Where's this going?
No, I'm just running the scene through my head. You know how that is.
Yeah, I know it is.
Pirates. They know how to live.
Welcome to the Caribbean life.
The babes. The threads. The eyeliner.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
But you have heard of me. Too bad about the curse.
You're supposed to be dead.
Am I not? That's interesting. Keira Knightley, Orlando Bloom, and Johnny Depp.
You cheated.
Pirate. The network television premiere, Pirates of the Caribbean. Saturday at 8, only on USA. Characters welcome.
Friday, a garbage strike paralyzes San Francisco, and Monk. Alice Cooper guest stars.
I don't think Alice Cooper is his real name.
Emmy winner Tony Shalhoub is Monk.
I have a city to clean. One bag at a time.
An all-new Monk, Friday at 9, only on USA. Characters welcome. Presented by Clorox Disinfecting Products.
Lying here dreaming, nothing much has changed with seasons.
The bathtub is your child's playground. Help keep it clean with Clorox Disinfecting Bathroom Cleaner.
Growing up, Pete, Dan, and I were inseparable. Still are, only with a few extra in tow.
Try Olive Garden's new Sicilian grilled shrimp, garlic marinated and grilled to perfection. Or new Sicilian grilled chicken, both in a tasty garlic butter sauce at Olive Garden.
Their hair may be the same, but the way they've treated it couldn't be more different. One has lightened hers, the other has darkened it. Dove for lighteners restores the condition of lightened hair. Dove for darkeners keeps darkened hair vibrant. Dove Advanced Color Care for more softness and shine. Because lightened and darkened hair need different care.
Panty liner stays in place better than Carefree Body Shape Thin. It's thin and flexible to help prevent bunching and twisting. Carefree Body Shape Thin. Live a carefree life.
Don't you wanna?
More bars in more places. That's what people have come to expect from Singular. And now they can expect even more. Testing from the leading independent research company proves that Singular's all-over network has the fewest dropped calls of any wireless network. The fewest dropped calls.
Dinner Theatre presents My Hero, the compelling story of how the tasty turkey breast with honey mustard and cucumber sandwich. Swept an entire nation off its feet. Subway, eat egg.
This month on GCI Cable.
Last time, she made you talk. This time, she'll leave you speechless.
We got off on the wrong foot yesterday.
Maybe that's because it was in your mouth.
The new season, Kira Sedgwick returns as the closer. Mondays at 9 on TNT.
Right here on GCI Cable.
And create your own private sanctuary. Originally designed for planes, owners tell us about other uses. Less distraction at work, to unwind after a hectic day, or to find your own space.
Sound quality is fantastic. Peace.
Order QC2s or the new smaller QC3s and get the same level of performance. Try them for 30 days with the Bose Excitement Guarantee. You'll get free shipping and you can make 12 easy payments. Quiet comfort headphones. Hear the difference Bose technology makes.
Hey, Mike! What are you doing here? Buddy, listen, I need some help on something. You got a minute? Yeah, come on in, Shirley!
Hi, jeez, I haven't seen you since, what, 3 years ago, 4th of July.
Yeah, I've been overseas. You look great, kid.
Oh, Mike.
She does, doesn't she, huh?
Yeah.
You see the glow?
Yeah.
You see the glow? Guess what we found out last night, huh? You're pregnant? Can I? Yeah, go.
Okay.
Is it gonna kick?
No, Mike, they don't kick at 5 weeks.
Did he do that to you?
Now get out of my kitchen. Go in there, I'll bring you some coffee. Go on.
Congratulations. Thanks, man, thanks. Is everything all right?
Yeah, everything's good.
Sit down.
Listen, you remember the night we were having dinner at that joint? I wanted to check something out with you. Remember you told me that Sammy got a call around midnight Sunday before last?
Yeah?
You sure it was midnight?
What do you ask me this for?
I just need to know.
Yeah, well, I was wrong. I was with Sammy until 1.
Come on, man, you told me. I was right there. You said midnight. I remember.
I was with my partner until 1 that night.
What are you being like this for?
Being like what? I must have been thinking about some other night, that's all.
All right, look, I gotta tell you the truth. I have got some very serious doubts about Sammy Kurtz.
I don't want to hear it.
You don't want to hear it?
I don't want to hear it.
Did you know that someone took a shot at me?
Glad you're okay. But it's got nothing to do with Sammy. You investigating cops now, Mike?
The blue wall stops at homicide. I gotta go.
Bring me up here for the view? I've seen it.
Something you need to know, and it stays between us.
Cross my heart and hope to die.
You got a problem at the 2-7.
Okay, you got me. I had a free donut at the Krispy Kreme.
And I think it's Sammy.
What? No way.
I don't know how, but I think he's connected to my case.
You think? Hey, a couple of years ago, people thought that about me, and I was guilty until I proved myself innocent. I mean, why all of a sudden you're busting Sammy's ass?
I'm not out to bust Sammy. I'm after the killer of Suzanne Taylor. Sammy gets run over. I'm still making this case.
Wherever it leads?
Wherever.
You ever hear of loyalty, Mike?
Loyalty? Oh, let me get this right. Lenny Briscoe lecturing me on loyalty. You know, I didn't hear much from you when I took that ride out to Staten Island.
Hey, you slugged a politician. What the hell was I supposed to do?
I don't know. You tell me.
What, if you decide to jump off a bridge, I'm supposed to go in after you? Oh, Mike Logan's drowning. Get Briscoe the lifeguard.
Uccelli's got a cop on the payroll. Guess who wears expensive suits? The kind that detectives like you and me can't afford. Sammy. I go by the Keller last night. Guess who shows up after his tour? Sammy. The night Suzanne Taylor was killed? Guess who gets a call and leaves his post at midnight?
Sam.
Yeah. There's no phones at the Keller in the rooms. so I couldn't check the phone records, but I did check the incoming calls to the 27. Guess whose cell phone number shows up on the caller ID that night? Gianni Uccielli. I mean, you tell me, Lenny. Uccielli, Sammy, my victim, the pimp's killer. Why do they all seem to be connected? You with me on this?
Do it right, and I'm with you. You dive off a bridge, you hit the water alone.
Great way to start the day. First, I get a call from Internal Affairs telling me they want to interrogate my officers. Then I find out you've known for months there was a dirty cop on my watch, but you didn't tell me, you told him.
Well, that's because...
Sammy Kurtz is one of the finest officers who ever served under me, and I have not heard one thing this morning that changes my opinion.
Hey, I don't have an opinion on Sammy Kurtz. I'm just working a case. Look, you know the guy. I don't. So, could be that you're too close to him. Maybe I have a clearer take on him than you do.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you do. Or maybe it's just that you're still as self-obsessed as you always were.
She seems like a nice lady. IAB is not going any further with the wires. They want to start the interrogations tomorrow. They figure they can ferret out the cop by sweating the whole precinct.
IAB comes in, I'm out of the picture.
Well, you say that like it's a bad thing. Oh, come on. You don't really want to bust a cop in your old precinct, do you? Look, if Sammy Kurtz is involved in this thing, let IAB do the dirty work. Case gets solved, what difference does it make who solves it, right? Right?
You know what it's been like for me the last 3 years?
Okay. Now I get it.
If I ever want to get back to Manhattan, I need to get credit on this case.
IAB is meeting me at the 2-7 tomorrow at 4. They want to hit the night guys first. I can tell them I can't make it till 4:30, Mike. That's the best I can do.
Thank you.
Now, meanwhile, I got a bigger pain in the ass. I still got one tap working at the Hunt and Fish Club. Now, 3 years of listening to Goombah gibberish. And last night on the wire, I hear something that I have never, ever heard before. A sanctioned hit ordered by the old man himself on a woman. And we're trying to locate her now. It's a
Maritza Flores.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You're the psychic detective.
She works as a maid at the Keller Hotel. She might be a witness to the murder of Suzanne Taylor.
Well, she's about to be a witness to another murder. Her own.
Why would John Travolta switch places with Nick Cage?
His nose, his hair, this ridiculous chin.
Oh. Face Off, Sunday at 6 on USA. Characters welcome.
Denny's works for me because I'm never going to pay too much. Oh, I'm going to eat too much. I'm never going to pay too much.
Denny's new Extreme Grand Slam. More bacon, more sausage, and you won't pay too much. Just $5.99. Denny's.
Works for me.
No other panty liner stays in place better than Carefree Body Shape Thin. It's thin and flexible to help prevent bunching and twisting. Carefree Body Shape Thin. Live a carefree life.
Intelligent key technology that knows you. Seats that hug you. A ride that spoils you. The next Nissan Maxima, part of the next generation of Nissan thinking.
Oh, I wish I were an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I'd really like to be. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener,
Quality meat, no fillers.
everyone would be in love with me.
How would you sing the Oscar Mayer jingle?
La 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 la.
Show us.
Okay.
You could star in our commercial. Go to singthejingle.com for details.
Christopher, you know how your mom feels about you bouncing that ball on her floors.
Need durable paint that's beautiful too?
Get American Tradition paint from Lowe's, made by Valspar, a company with 200 years of paint manufacturing expertise.
Ha! 2 points.
Lowe's, let's build something together.
Use your Lowe's card and pay nothing for 12 months on purchases of $299 or more in these departments.
Who's tasty?
I am.
Who's wholesome?
I am. You know, I never really thought about it, but I'm flattered. This is not what I signed up for. Goldfish crackers, always baked and made with real cheese.
The snack that smiles back. Goldfish.
Sister, your hair's so poofy you could use it as an airbag. And I thought I'd need pay-per-view to see groping like that. Blue, for poofy hair. You need Sunsilk Zoo Anti-Poof. Get Haraby.
Whoa, 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 what are you doing? No, get this out of here. This is the Stackers Union, kid. We stack meat and cheese. Meat and cheese, no veggies. Wake up, pretty boy. Oh, early bun delivery. Hey, Toots! Feisty, I like that.
New BK Stacker, bacon and cheese on flame broiled beef. Stack it high, tough guy.
The greetings are different. The need to feel welcome is the same. You don't just stay here. You belong.
Dude, come on. You just touch somebody and can see their future. That's not fair.
So? You've got a photographic memory, right?
Yes, it's a honed skill. Your voodoo just fell in your lap.
Dude, that came from years of being in a coma, all right?
Yeah, well, I had a lousy father.
92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100.